Fossils are the remains and traces of ancient organisms. A fossil is the preserved remain or trace of organisms like plants, animals, etc., that lived in the distant past. The oldest fossil dates around 3.5 billion years ago, but it wasn't until 600 million years ago that complex multicellular life began to be first preserved in the fossil record. The two main types of fossils are body and trace. Body fossils are the most common type of fossils found around the world. They are formed from the remains of dead animals and plants. Most body fossils are like hard parts that are the teeth, bones, shells, etc. of the animals. Trace fossils include any impression or other preserved sign of activity like walking, scratching, etc. Many animals, like plants, bacteria, have left their traces in the fossil record. Fossilization. That is the process through which the different fossils are formed. There are mainly 5 types of fossilizations: petrification, molds and cast, carbonization, unaltered preservation, and replacement. After an organism is buried, minerals carried by water such as silica or pyrite replace the organic material. Some common examples are the most dinosaur bones. You should remember that they can preserve even the most minute details. A mold fossil is when the organism decays, leaving an impression in the rock called a mold. A cast is when that mold has been filled in with the rock or the minerals. Carbonization is the process in which the more volatile substances of the organism like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen are removed, leaving behind the carbon. These fossils typically appear as thin dark film on the rock. This type of preservation is common among the plant fossils. In unaltered preservation, the original material of the organism has not been changed to another substance. It's very rare and typically found in very recent fossils. Replacement or recrystallization occurs when the shell, bone, or other tissue is replaced with another mineral. A shell is said to be recrystallized when the original skeletal compounds are still present but in a different crystal form. Dating fossils refers to determining their age. Determining fossils' age is very important as it helps us understand which era they're from. The majority of time, the fossils are dated using relative dating techniques. Using this technique, the fossil is compared to something for which the age is already known. Scientists use certain types of fossils referred to as index fossils, and they are the ones that only occur during a specific time frame. Another principle used is the rock layers. If the rock layer is containing the fossil is higher up, then you know that it is a much younger rock by age. By combining these, relative dating techniques can help determine the age. Absolute dating is used to determine the precise age of a fossil through radiometric methods. This uses radioactive minerals in the rocks and fossils almost like a geological clock. The atoms in some chemical elements have different forms that break down at a very constant and consistent rate over time through decay. By measuring the ratio of the amount of the original material to the amount of the material that it breaks down into, the age can be determined.